Yo guys, it's JJ, and just before the video begins, right, I keep referring to Forever Rolling as ESTG, but they're two different people. So every time I say it, just remember I'm in Forever Rolling. That's all. So enjoy the video. Yo guys, it's JJ here, and today, as you guys have seen by the title of the video, I'm going to be walking you guys through an ESTG beat for his new album, I Never Felt None. Sick album, super hard, super dope, and without further ado, let's just get straight into this. First of all, we opened up Omnisphere, and the first part of the melody is a preset from the Palace Bank. It's the 808 Mafia Omnisphere Bank Volume 7. And the preset is Bell Yu-Gi-Oh! So remember that. As for the pattern, it's very, very basic. As you guys can see, it just repeats every half a bar. However, as I do the pattern, I just take up the first note, which is the G, which is the root note, and just take it up an octave. So it gives it a very slight variation, but still super simple, super catchy, and super dark, just like ESTG beats are. And as you can see, we've made use of the notes, which are a semitone apart, which creates tension and makes it sound darker. So there's a bit of music theory for you guys. You know, you learn something new every day. And with that being said, this is what the pattern sounds like. And there you have it, guys. Very simple, very basic, but does the job, and it's super hard and catchy. As for effects, I've kept it very, very simple. As you guys can see, I'm using a parametric EQ, and I've cut off all the lows and then a few of the frequencies I wasn't a big fan of. And then next up, all I did was just add a reverb to make it sound more ambient. And then last but not least, I did a bit of stereo separation, around 20%, and that was really all I did. Then next up, we got ourselves another instance of Omnisphere, and I'm using a preset called Choir Ooze-MF, and it's part of the Human Voices Bank, obviously, because, you know, it's a choir. And all I did was I laid down a few chords, and it's very, very simple, very straightforward, and I'll just explain it. As you guys can see, we've got ourselves a minor here, and then what I did initially was create a diminished minor, which is just the same chords, but taking this note down to an A. However, like I changed the bass line a bit, what I did was new bass line with a G, D, D sharp, D, and as you can see, again, making use of these notes in tension down here, up here, and even these notes, as you can see, the part in the scale where tension is created. So just that nice dark feel, atmosphere is being made. That's really all it is. It's a very, very simple thing. Just remember, EST beats are simple, dark, but it gives a lot of room for him to rap over because you don't want it to be crazy. And with all that being said, this is what the melody sounds like. And there you have it. As for effects, again, very basic, same as before. An EQ cutting off flows, a few of the highs and frequencies I wasn't a fan of, and then a very, very heavy delay because I want this to be quite pushed back in the mix when I mixed it, so that's why the delay is quite heavy. And then to further emphasize that far back in the mix feel, I put it at stereo separation of 100%, so it's literally the furthest back it can get in the room, and it creates a bit of that spooky feeling because it's like a very low choir sound, so I thought I did the job nicely. Next up, we got ourselves Expand 2, and I grabbed a preset called Big Soft Strings, and it's from the bank strings. And all I did was literally just copy the root notes from the choir and then took it down another octave as well to really fill in that frequency change, to really fill in that frequency range. And that's all it really was. Very simple, nothing more to say, but it just creates more darkness because strings help create that. And this is what it sounds like. And there you have it. Very straightforward, very simple. It's just that, remember, sound selection is very, very much key here because all of it's quite simple. However, you know, mixing bells with human voices, with strings, and then coming up now a bass, it just all blends in really well together. And when you have the perfect sound, a simple melody just really is all you need. And then would you believe me if I told you for effects, it was another EQ and another reverb. Quite simple. And then as for stereo separation, around 50%, just so it's not far back in the mix, but it's just that nice little golden zone. And now, last but not least, we got ourselves a preset called the Growler Moog bass, and if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you should know very well that I really mess with this bass, so I highly recommend you guys use it for dark beats. And of course, I just followed the root notes from the choir and the strings. So with all that being said, this is what the bass sounds like. And there you have it. And then all I did for the bass, honestly, was just add the Dark Fat preset from Decapitator. And that was all. And now with all that being said, this is what the melody sounds like. And there you have it. Very simple, very straightforward. So let's get to the drums. First of all, because it's an ESGB, I thought a snare would sound much nicer with this aesthetic, especially the very dark vibe. So I went for a snare. And then at the end of the snare pattern, I went onto half step and I just placed down this very simple roll, which a lot of beats use. And that's really it. Simple as. So this is what the snare pattern sounds like. And there you have it. Next up, I added a rim that comes in every 2 bar. Same pattern, of course, and it just fills in a nice little bit of space, these little pockets here and there throughout the beat, because you want your drums to be hitting hard. So a little bit of perks here and there, but obviously you want that like really crisp snare, crisp hi-hats, knocking drums, you know, how it should always be. So this little rim filled in that little bit of pocket, and this is what it sounds like. I'm not going to play the full 8 bar because you don't want to hear that. The next up, we got ourselves an open hat, which repeats every 2 bar as well, as you guys can see. And again, it just fills in the space nicely. And then also when the open hats hit at the same trunk, and also when the open hats hit at the same time as like the 808 or the kick or something, it just sounds even better. So just thought I added it in, and this is what the hat sounds like. And there we have it. Now next up, we've got ourselves a kick, and it's a very basic kick pattern, the very standard one like every producer should know. It follows the same pattern every 2 bar, so nothing too complex, very simple, you know. You gotta keep these things simple because there's people out here on YouTube trying to make these mad tutorials really complex. It's like, bro, you're making an ESTGB. It's just dark, hard, and simple. Simple as. So this is what the kick sounds like. And there you have it. And also, don't ever forget, you click that Control A and you use your scroller wheel, and all you should do is max the velocities out. In big caps, plain and simple. Then of course with the kick pattern comes the 808 pattern. So I got a very short spins 808, so it doesn't just drag on too much. Of course, I maxed the velocities out, as you guys can see here. And then just follow the root notes from the bass, the strings, the choir, literally almost all of my elements within the melody. So this is what the 808 sounds like. And there you have it. And then of course, last but not least, you know, the hi-hat pattern, because it's an essential. Of course it's an essential. And it's a 2 bar pattern that really just repeats all the time. And it's as simple as just adding these 2 little extra rolls by just using, you know, literally just go on step and just place that extra roll in. And I thought it sounded catchy. It had a nice little good bounce. And with all the different elements of the drums, it just really glued itself together nicely. So this is what the hi-hat sounds like. And there you have it. Then last but not least, I obviously had to add in this Kill Bill siren. Like, I think it sounded super dope with the melody and the drums and everything. So this is what it sounds like. We've all heard it before. So time to show you guys the full drums. And there you have it. That's the drum pattern. Then I'll show you guys the melody source, and you have all the components you need. So you've officially made it to the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. I appreciate all the support as always. Thanks for watching, and take it easy. Peace.